Previously on MDA.
I would prefer to talk about your weaknesses, Amanda, not mine.
I'm honest.
I would consider that a strength.
Oh, let me finish. To the point of indelicacy. I'm impulsive occasionally. I don't like protocol, although I'm aware that the law is top-heavy with it, and I can stick to it when I have to, but I can't pretend I enjoy it. Oh, and I appear to be a failure at relationships. I've lied, and I didn't mean to. I had an affair. Have you ever been married? Oh, I lived with someone for years, but... And what? Didn't work out? He lied.
It was a bit of a shock when you left, Caitlin, and not just a happy.
I was going to tell you, but he kicked me out before I had a chance.
You could have called me. So, what's it like over here on the dark side?
Sometimes I wonder whether you're actually in the right place.
Sometimes I'm not.
You never know when some slippery little opportunist is out to get the better of you, do you?
I'm starting to learn, Abby. You're a very good teacher.
Believe me, Caitlin, if I had wanted to humiliate you, I would have done it in court. Okay? I am simply here to remind you that you have an awful lot to learn.
I've got an awful lot of time. What about you?
Caitlin, it's okay. Not everything goes as planned. You knew when you took this on it wouldn't be painless.
I realise that.
Now, there's a bunch of wills that you can draft. One client is coming in at, I think, 10-ish. I've got an appointment now.
Wills?
Wills? Yeah. I mean, as in the instructions we leave when we die.
Come on, Richard. I mean, the Bradley case wasn't a great start. I realise that, but I'm not going to let anyone scam me like that again.
You've been here, what, 3 weeks? No one's expecting
You
miracles.
hired me because I'm trained in med-neg.
Everyone starting out in this firm, Caitlin, does the routine stuff. Conveyancing, wills, it's part of our bread and butter.
I've never even done a will.
Well, I really don't think you're going to have too much trouble. Rosemary's got a set of precedents. Just use the drafting skills you learnt at uni. It's simple. I mean, if we had thousands of members shelling out up to 50 grand each every year like you did at MDA, I'd have you doing nothing besides med-neg. Here, it's a whole other game. Okay? Here we have to earn the money we risk.
Well, you must be about ready to come off those, yeah?
Only 4 more days, thank God.
Good. And will we be seeing you back at the hospital sometime soon?
That might take a bit longer.
Okay. Because I could have used you last night. 5 food poisonings, right up your alley.
It's supposed to be enticing.
How's the leg?
Unbelievably itchy.
The first scratch after it comes off was better than sex, according to Dimitri.
Who?
My ex. But then again, most things were better than sex, according to him.
Okay, good. Yeah, look forward to it. Bye. You're not busy this morning, are you?
Me busy? Never.
Just had a call from a Dr. Patrick Ladlow.
Pediatric surgeon, right?
Recently blessed with a telephone call from Richard Savage. The word court was mentioned.
I called up Dr. Ladlow this morning following up on my letter asking for your son's records and reports, but as I expected, he wants to speak to his indemnifier before he speaks to me.
Did he explain why he told us it was just one of those things kids get?
Growing pains. He said the swelling would go away on its own.
That's why we didn't have it removed, because he told us not to.
Yes, I know, Clara, exactly.
Even when it kept getting bigger.
Yeah, even when he finally did the first biopsy.
Well, the results of that biopsy are going to be reviewed by our expert. I've got a report in from Aiden's treating doctor. It confirms what he'd already told you, that in his opinion, Aiden's condition is terminal. So now we move straight ahead. We make an application for a speedy trial. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to meet him.
Meet him?
Is that necessary?
I think it's important. I mean, it obviously doesn't have to be here. It could be at home, somewhere more comfortable, but less intimidating.
Just something at home might be all right if we just say he's a friend from work.
You don't want Aiden to know about any of this?
No, you can't.
I understand there is absolutely no point worrying him about this now, but if it goes to trial...
No,
yeah,
he can't. Aiden doesn't know he's got cancer.
Okay. I don't know much about 9-year-olds, but wouldn't Aiden have the feeling that something's not quite right?
Well, we've told him he's sick. And he thinks he's going to outgrow it.
Anything else would just be too much for him to understand.
It's too much for any of us.
I want to make sure if anything happens to me, my husband, Chris, is looked after. I know I could do it myself, but...
No, it's always best to go through a lawyer. There's succession and other issues people rarely take into account. Now, this apartment you've purchased.
I want it to go to him, yes.
Do you have any investments, Jenny?
I had a term deposit, but that went towards the flat.
Any other assets?
Nothing substantial.
Not just what you have now, but anything you accumulate in the future.
Oh, I can't see that happening.
But it might. And unless you revise your will, we'll have to make arrangements for future assets now.
Really, there's just the car, and that's due to fall apart any second. Never really liked it when I took over the driving from Chris.
It's in your name or your husband's?
No, mine. I took over everything like that when Chris stopped working.
Your husband's a dependent?
He used to have his own business. He was a builder. But after we got married, he had to have a kidney transplant. He'd had renal failure for ages, but no one picked it up.
You mean his doctor didn't pick it up?
No, it was my mum's doctor who spotted it.
Has your husband ever considered taking action?
Legal action?
Yeah.
No, that's not Chris. He really liked his GP. She just didn't get it right.
Still, it sounds like he might have a claim.
Well, it'll be completely up to Chris.
Of course. I mean, he can come in here and see me. I'd just be giving advice, no initial charge.
You'd never get Chris in here.
I can always go to him.
David,
Come in.
how are you?
Good.
Thanks.
Aiden, this is a friend of Dad's from work.
Hi.
Hi, Clara. Hi, Aiden. I'm Richard. I hear that you've been a little bit sick lately, mate.
A bit.
A bit? What's this? Lord of the Rings. I like that movie.
The Two Towers.
Mm-hmm.
Gollum's the best.
You don't like Frodo?
Gollum's got no hair, like me.
I can grow back, darling.
You should like Gollum too.
Hey, no, it's all right. I don't have a lot up there either, but does that get me in the gang, does it? What's this? Cool. Very cool.
All right, you first saw Aiden Shields when he was 6.
Yes, Aiden had been feeling some pain in his upper left leg when he played sport. His parents were concerned. They'd noticed some swelling in his groin.
And you noticed that he was favouring the right leg.
But there appeared to be no obvious explanation. As I said to Aiden's parents, kids often experience growing pains.
Now, you say here the swelling quickly developed into a growth, is that right?
Within about a month. And I admit I didn't think much of it at the time. I mean, benign tissue growths are often seen in my practice.
It's not that unusual for effusions to appear, particularly around joints and glands.
And that's what I thought it probably was. But to be sure, I ordered a biopsy.
And the report came back clear.
Yes.
So to your knowledge, the swelling was not cancerous at this point?
I could only go by what was in the report. I'm not a pathologist. And when I read the word benign, I managed the condition conservatively.
And conservatively meant what in this case?
I recommended against surgery. But look, ultimately, the decision was Aiden's parents. They could have had it removed at any stage.
But that wasn't your recommendation.
No.
And why not?
The growth was located dangerously close to the testicular artery and a whole lot of vital nerves. Removing it could have compromised the development of Aiden's left leg.
He may have lost it.
And there's also a real possibility that his fertility could have been affected.
How soon do you think we can be in court?
If we're granted an expedited trial, it could be as soon as 3 or 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah, we still have to go through the normal procedures, mediation, you know, that sort of thing.
What happens if they don't agree to a quick trial?
David, I'm sure they'll agree.
But if they don't?
If they don't, things change. Right now, I'm making a lost chance claim. I'm saying Dr. Ladlow's late diagnosis of Aiden's cancer meant he'd lost any chance he might have had of beating it.
Well, he did. That's what happened.
If Aiden passes away before we can get this case into court, you two cannot claim a lost chance.
Why? Well, we have lost a chance. We've lost a chance to see our little boy grow up.
Well, the plaintiff here is Aiden, right? Because he's an infant, one of you can make a claim on his behalf as his litigation guardian. Now, at the moment, I'm expecting damages somewhere in the region of $300,000, but once he's gone, that drops to 30.
Our only concern is justice.
Our chances of winning over a jury are 100 times stronger if I can get Aiden up there in front of them.
We realise
Sorry,
that.
I
no.
understand you don't want him to find out about any of this. I totally understand about that, but maybe, just maybe, it's not...
I'm not going to ruin the little time he has left.
Clara, it's your choice. I'm just telling you, as your lawyer, if we can get Aiden as a witness just for that one day...
No.
Clara's father had cancer. When he found out, he gave up. We don't want that to happen to Aiden.
He's going to stay with us for as long as he can.
All right. If I, Okay, well, what if I get an agreement from the other side that they're allowed to ask questions but in no way give Aiden any reason to suspect what's going on?
They won't stick to that.
Oh, they will. I'll make sure they will. I'm just asking for just one single day. It would make a difference.
We'll talk it over. Now, you also note that you consulted a specialist on this.
Yes, Dr. Dorothy Byatt, and she agreed. The risk of removing the growth was too high.
Right, you ordered regular scans?
I kept a close eye on it over the next 18 months, and over that period of time, the growth only increased in proportion to his body size.
Here on December 10th, you note the growth enlarged significantly.
Which is when I ordered another biopsy.
So are you saying that you changed your mind?
Even though I believed the growth was benign, I felt it ought to be reinvestigated.
And that's when the cancer was diagnosed?
Yes.
Further tests revealed that it spread to the spine.
Dr. Davis, this was potentially mutilating surgery on a 6-year-old boy who had what appeared to be a benign growth that should have resolved itself spontaneously. That's what I thought. That's what the report told me.
Were both biopsies sent to the same pathologist?
Yes, Dr. Porter. And both sets of results are in my records.
Well, we'll need to take a look at those.
What do I do about this lawyer? I've got a letter saying he wants a copy of my records and a written report, and this morning I get a phone call at my practice.
For the moment, provide Savage with copies of your records, but we will need your report ASAP, okay?
So you got a report stating that the growth was benign, didn't want to mutilate a 6-year-old boy, consulted a specialist, and...
Now he's being sued.
I want to go and talk to that pathologist, have a look at those biopsy results.
Ah, what are you thinking? You're thinking that this is the Debbie Shanahan case all over again, are you? That the cancer wasn't there when they took the first biopsy.
I don't know.
Well, Savage very nearly won that claim, even though the evidence supported our case instead of his own. He's probably over there thinking, well, a grown woman wasn't quite the right recipe for hysteria, and a 9-year-old boy could really get the crowd baying for a bit more blood.
You know, these guys have not even told the kid that he's dying. He's walking around with cancer in his spine, in his leg. He's got no idea.
Well, that'd have to be against medical advice, wouldn't it? I mean, kids deal with death better than adults half the time.
Aiden's treating doctor doesn't agree. We can't tell him anything without parental consent. He's a funny kid. What? It's a case, Caitlin.
And you're still talking about it.
I'm trying to avoid the topic of wills.
Actually, those wills turned out to be a lot more interesting than I thought.
Caitlin. Hi, you found us.
Yeah, wasn't too hard.
Chris is just in the park. Do you like a walk?
No, I can wait if you want to.
No, he's just stretching his legs. And to be honest, I like walking him back. I'll get used to it one day, but I still freak out when I think of him crossing the road alone. Chris! It's just me, though. He's fine, he can do it.
He's blind.
What didn't I say?
So you went blind after the transplant?
Yeah.
Because of the transplant?
A rare side effect of the drugs he was taking.
Yeah, the ones that stopped my body rejecting the new kidney.
Then, Chris, you may have a claim.
They warned me. They told me. They said there's a small risk of going blind. And I took the risk.
Yeah, but it's not really the point. I assume you had to have the transplant. I mean, by the time it was diagnosed, you had no other choice?
Well, he could have stayed on dialysis for the rest of his life.
And Chris, you could be claiming for so much more. I mean, you could be claiming for millions.
This is a bit much, isn't it? I mean, Jen comes to you for a will, and now you're drumming us up to sue people.
Look, your doctor didn't tell you what was wrong until it was too late to do anything about it. If she'd diagnosed it earlier, you would never have needed a new kidney, never have needed the drugs, and you'd never have gone blind.
My life's fine, you know? I'm used to it the way it is.
Honey, they might owe you.
I'm alive, you know? We get by.
If you give me permission to access your medical records, I can tell you exactly how much money we're talking about.
Oh, right. So it's millions today, is it? What's it going to be in a day or two? A few grand?
Think about all the money you could have earned in your whole life. That's the very least we'll be asking for.
Well, we can ask for anything, can't we? It's whether we'd get it.
You'd have a very good chance, Chris.
Yeah. Chances just don't go my way.
This one will.
Yeah. And you can guarantee that?
The disability pension, it can't be much to live on.
I told you, we get by.
You could be doing better.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose if I let you all poke at me, I could get a new car. A flash house. A flash house is going to look the same to me.
It might not to Jenny. I mean, you thought you'd lost every opportunity to provide for her, Chris. But you haven't.
Thanks for coming.
Do you mind telling us what we're doing here?
Best coffee in the street, Bill. I organised an expert to review the pathology slides on Aidan Shields' first biopsy. And, well, no one at the pathology firm can seem to find them. Now, the pathologist, Dr. Porter, she is one of yours, yes?
What are you saying, that you want to join her as a defendant on the writ?
Yes. Oh, well, that's one way we could play it. Although I don't see much point in putting you guys, your member, myself, through the hoops when we can sort it out now by talking settlement.
Well, we need to hold off mediation, which will give us time to talk to Porter.
No, I think mediation should go ahead as planned.
No, we can't be expected to settle a claim based solely on your speculation.
Bill, settle now. Dr. Ladlow escapes a lynching in court. Even better still, Dr. Porter escapes a possible claim altogether. Or play it out to the end. The decision is all yours.
Yeah, I need to get in touch with Dr. Porter urgently. Did she leave a forwarding contact number or address?
Okay, Abby, we've got one writ, one chamber summons, and one affidavit. Do we know what it all means?
Savage is making an application for a speedy trial.
Why?
Because a live child will get him more money than a dead one.
Porter, pathologist, won't be back for 3 days. He's on holidays.
Holidays. I remember them. Oh, excuse me. Patrick. Hi.
Hi, look, it's all done just like you asked.
The report?
Yes.
Good, let's have a look at it.
Simon Lloyd.
What?
as an expert witness for Ladlow.
Simon who?
Lloyd, paediatrician, very highly regarded, not far from here.
Does he do med neg?
No. But he owes me a favour.
How you going?
It's into overdrive, but that's okay. What's up?
You know how you asked me to see Jenny Owen? About a will.
Did you have some trouble, or?
No, I've found a case. I haven't got the medical records yet, but Jenny's husband went blind because of a whole bunch of stuff, starting with his doctor not diagnosing renal failure. It had been coming since he was 19 years old.
GP didn't pick it up?
Missed it at least 4 times, according to the diagnosing doctor. And when it was finally diagnosed, the poor guy needed dialysis 3 times a week.
And then a kidney transplant. Sounds like a multi-million-dollar case.
I've spoken to the diagnosing doctor. I've prepared the notes. I've got the statement of claim. All I need to do is file it with the court and serve it.
May I?
Yeah.
This man's wife just came in for a will. Caitlin, I'm not criticising you, but I'm not into ambulance chasing either.
I was servicing the client.
You spotted a case. You didn't want it to walk out the door. I mean,
That's my job.
Okay. It's fine. I mean, this is interesting. It's very interesting. Just leave it with me.
So what are you saying? I can't?
I'm saying it's a high-valued claim.
Which I can handle. I've won enough of them over you. This is my case. I found it.
And I'm saying good work.
I've spoken to these people. They're genuine. We got on well. They're the kind of people I left MDA to represent.
Are they?
I can win this case, Richard. I know I can. Just let me. Please?
Okay. Okay. But as the person responsible for your work, I'd like to keep an eye on it.
So where is Eva now?
Well, she's still in Munich.
For how much longer?
Another month or 2.
Ah. Well, it'll look good on her CV.
Her words exactly.
So, I guess you've got all this spare time on your hands, Simon.
Well, that sounds like a loaded question.
I wanted to talk to you about a case.
All this was just softening me up.
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
I knew one day you'd call me on that favour.
Oh, no, I know I said I wouldn't, but this one, it's a little boy. It's a possible misdiagnosis of cancer, but I'm not sure.
I'm sure there are a lot of doctors who could help you out.
Well, I'm sure there are too, but you've worked with kids extensively and I trust you.
Look, Ella, thanks, but I just won't be any good at this. I might look through the file and say something you don't want to hear.
Simon, you say what you think. I've got a trial that's probably due to start in less than 3 weeks. We want to give this doctor the best defence we can, and to do that, we need to know best and worst case scenario. Okay?
Okay. Who are they after?
Dr. Patrick Ladlow?
Nah, never heard of him.
Oh, well, that's good. No one can accuse you of bias. See ya.
So, yeah.
I haven't even heard from Chris Owen or his family in 2 years. I thought they must have moved out of the district. People do that and don't tell their doctors all the time. But I had no idea anything like this had happened.
So, Mr. Owen presented with high blood pressure in 1995. So that would have made him...
19.
Is blood pressure common in someone so young?
No, it's quite rare.
But it's not only associated with renal conditions. It could have been something hormonal, which is what I thought more likely at the time.
So you put him on antihypertensives and you monitored his blood pressure?
And I did a lot of other tests.
Okay, he had elevated ESR, elevated ureas, anemia. All these do point to a renal condition.
I treated the anemia. I prescribed additional iron, I checked for jaundice, took an LF test.
And
he came back normal. Except for one chemical, which was slightly raised, and so I ordered an ultrasound. I checked for gallstones. I was thinking of everything.
Except renal failure.
So she treated the symptoms but didn't look for the underlying cause.
Yeah.
When should she first have thought of renal failure?
Well, here, the elevated ESR.
1995?
It indicates a non-specific inflammation in the body.
Non-specific? So not necessarily renal failure?
No, but it is a big sign. It's almost as big as the elevated ureas.
Well, yeah, obviously. Elevated ureas.
Urea is a byproduct of protein breakdown. It's eliminated by the kidney, so elevated ureas indicate the kidney function is failing.
So what you're saying, Jamie, is we're stuffed.
Not as much as the blind guy that could have had all this treated at 19.
Well, on the information I've read, I'd say Dr. Ladlow acted competently. On the test results he had, his management was reasonable. Now, with hindsight, of course, it seems that first path report was quite likely incorrect.
You think the cancer was there all along?
Well, I'm just going by what's in here.
The pathologist possibly gave the wrong results.
The first time? Maybe, yes. Though sometimes cancers develop very quickly, it may not necessarily have been there when the first biopsy was taken.
But your hunch is that it was.
Now, does the other side have a copy of this same file?
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Well, it's just that if you look back on Ladlow's management on this visit, yeah, here, December 10, you could say that he missed a possible signal.
When the growth started to enlarge.
Up until that point, the growing pains, the benign tissue growth argument, they could still maybe both hold. And I agree that with a benign test result at that stage, surgery wasn't a good idea, not if it could compromise the child's fertility. But on December 10, it appears larger for no apparent reason.
But isn't that when Ladlow arranged for a second biopsy?
The problem for you is that there just aren't any questions down here on the record.
So you do think that he acted negligently?
No, I read this knowing that the boy ended up with cancer. I knew what to look for. Ladlow didn't.
Okay, I've got a directions hearing in 30 minutes. How do I play this?
Well, I can't even get hold of the pathologist, let alone her slides. But even if Ladlow did start asking questions that he didn't write down in that report on December the 10th, he had a test result confirming that the growth was benign, and that's what he would have kept coming back to.
And at that point, he'd organised for the second biopsy anyway. So what more could he really have done?
Okay, full steam ahead.
I better head off too, Ella.
Okay. Thanks, Simon. Oh, and we will need a report.
Yeah, of course you will.
Layla, could you get in touch with Giles and get him to give me a call, depending on the outcome of this directions hearing? I might have to get on my hands and knees and grovel.
Good luck.
Bill?
Richard.
Any thoughts on my proposition?
Should tell you that I'll be opposing an expedited trial.
Then I should tell you I think you'll lose.
I just don't understand it. It seems like madness to me. The boy's got 6 months to live and you would have him spend it in the courts.
We could always settle.
Without evidence of negligence, I think not. It's obvious they're after blood money. $500,000 is not going to do anything to help that kid.
I think we're going to be arguing about this later. Right now, I need a favour. Now, presuming things go my way, I want an agreement from you that your barrister not mention to Aidan Shields the fact that he's dying. It's a simple request.
Are you telling me that the boy doesn't have
All it means is no direct questions during cross-examination.
What the hell?
Give
Who are
Aidan
these
any-
people? What kind of parents are they?
See, you want to judge people trying to deal with losing their 9-year-old son? Is that what you're saying to me?
It's virtually impossible. How can I agree to it? I mean, just the opening address will state the
We
fact that
won't
he's
be
dying.
there for that. It's just going to be one day.
Just enough to get a few tears from the jury.
No, you know the score. Come on. I'm not asking this for me. I mean, Aidan's parents do not want him to know that he is dying. I have to respect that. It's not the way I choose to handle things, but then again, I don't have a child with cancer. And neither do you.
I'll speak to Giles. That's if he'll agree to do a case that starts in 2 or 3 weeks if you have your way.
I appreciate it.
He is not going to be impressed.
I appreciate it.
So how's your new protege performing? To your satisfaction?
Must have been hard for you finding a new Kate. She's good. She's very good.
Yeah, I don't know her like you do. He's a slimy little bastard, that's what he is.
Why, because he got his quick trial or because he brought up the subject of Caitlin?
Both, I suppose. Oh, how we can be expected to prepare for a trial in 2 weeks. I don't even know if Giles is available, let alone whether he'll agree to do it. And we're going to be in mediation all day tomorrow.
Boy doesn't have long to live. The courts are going to move quickly.
Yeah, for what? Compensation? You're the doctor, Ella. I mean, is this kid going to be fit enough to use the money anyway?
Well,
I mean, is expensive treatment going to buy him one more day?
The parents are angry, Hap. It's understandable. No.
No. Confirmation on tomorrow. The mediation centre's booked for 9:30.
Thank you.
What else do you need me to do?
Nothing. You have done enough. You go home, enjoy having a life.
I'm serious. I don't mind staying if there's stuff to do.
No. Off you go.
Happy, don't tar off.
I beg your pardon.
It's a Persian thing. You have to refuse me at least 3 or 4 times before you can accept my help, because otherwise you're worried you're going to look rude. So I'm just going to stay and help, okay?
You still here?
Yeah, I'm ordering dinner in if you want some.
Is it that late?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your excuse?
Try and find an expert witness. They're happy to help until they hear I'm no longer at MDA.
Well, now you know what I have to do with. Doctors aren't so keen to speak out when it's against one of their brethren.
Yeah, well, I'll find someone. Is all that for mediation tomorrow?
Some of it's for the trial, but I'm not expecting an offer.
Do you want one? I mean, you've got one hell of a sympathetic client, a small dying boy. Get a lot of media attention.
So would I. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just...
Caitlin, you know what's really fucked? Aiden Shields is going to die before he reaches the age of 10. You want a reason I'm pushing this case, that's it.
Okay, Chris, you'll need to be at mediation so you can accept or reject the offer.
But you said Chris wouldn't have to be there. He could just be on the phone.
Yes, I could take a mobile in with me and call you with the offer, but you wouldn't have heard the argument.
Do we need to?
Chris, I think when they see you, they'll increase whatever offer they were going to make immediately. They'll see you'd make a compelling witness in court.
I'm not going to court. I've already told you that.
I know that, but they don't have to know that, do they?
This is bullshit. This is just bullshit lawyer games.
Chris, I'm just asking for 5 minutes of your time. 5 minutes, that's all, in front of them. The rest of the time you can stay in the anteroom.
Caitlin, do you really think it'd make that much difference, Chris coming to this thing?
Yes, I think if Chris was there, they'd increase the offer to $2 million.
2?
They'll decide it's still less than any judge or jury might offer you.
This is too much, Jen. Look, no mediation, no court, no more. Okay? I'll drop the whole bloody thing.
Chris.
What's Caitlin up to? We haven't got a leg to stand on, have we? Sorry.
Well, she can't hold all the cards, otherwise why talk to us now?
You think you've got her measure?
I'd say so.
Do you want to know what figure we're thinking of?
Well, I shall be guided by you.
Okay.
G'day.
That's the diagnosing doctor's report, and that's my expert's opinion.
You're paying, are you, Caitlin?
Both agree Dr. Dettori should have diagnosed renal failure in 1995.
Your expert's not particularly well regarded.
Not by MDA, no.
Not by you a few months ago.
Anyone you speak to will agree it's rare for a 19-year-old to present with high blood pressure.
Rare, but symptomatic of more than one condition. It could have been hormonal.
So why didn't Dr. Dettori take tests to look for causes? All she had to do was organise a renal scan, some blood tests.
She did do blood tests.
On the 3rd visit, yes. And even then, she ignored his results. An elevated ESR is an unmistakable indication
of inflammation.
Yeah. And renal failure can be the result of untreated inflammation.
Hypothetically, if we concede liability, we calculate damages at $1 million.
I'll be asking for 2.
Expected as much.
So?
1 million takes into account loss of past and future earnings and covers general damages for pain and suffering.
What about house modifications? Cost of ongoing care, nervous shock? What if he needs another kidney transplant later on?
Well...
And before you say it, Jamie, no, the first transplant was not an elective procedure. The only other option Chris had was to stay on dialysis for the rest of his life.
That wasn't what I was going to say.
What were you going to say then?
Where's our waiter?
Good call. Excuse me.
Absolutely nothing is going to be gained by this going to mediation. There is no way we can justify a settlement, so the whole thing is destined for trial.
I've asked Simon Lloyd to come to mediation.
What?
Simon Lloyd? Well, he's a good surgeon, but do you think he can help?
No, well, I don't think he can. I mean, we're going to be showing Savage all our ammunition.
Hap, we don't have any ammunition.
What else have we got?
Well, nothing. We don't have the pathologist, we don't have the slides, we don't even know if we should be walking in there today with an offer. All we do have is a well-respected surgeon, and I think we should use him.
It's worth a shot, Hap. I mean, he is pretty sharp.
Let's hope so.
Well, he's all we have in a very emotionally strong case.
Do you think the pathologist missed the diagnosis?
I think we should review the slides very carefully before we make the call.
The fact is, Chris Owen developed acute glaucoma. He went blind in one eye, and then 12 months later, he went blind in the other.
An unusual and unfortunate side effect of the anti-rejection medication, agreed, but not Dettori's fault.
How is it not her fault? Chris would never have needed the transplant, and therefore never have needed the drugs which sent him blind if Dettori had diagnosed his condition when he first presented.
You won't get up on causation that easily.
Why not? If Dettori had adequately controlled Chris Owen's high blood pressure in 1995, renal failure could have been avoided. There you have it, causation.
See, what your expert didn't tell you is there is another possibility. The high blood pressure and the renal failure could both have been due to an underlying inflammatory disease of the kidney. Now, some of these diseases respond to treatment, and others, like glomerulonephritis, do not.
Now we're playing the incomprehensible medical card designed to stun your opponent into submission.
I'll only be stunned if they can spell it.
Look, the fact is, it is possible that even if Dr. Dettori had diagnosed kidney disease way back in 1995, your client would still be in the same position he's in today.
No, Chris had high blood pressure, which caused the kidney damage.
Caitlin, the kidney damage could have come first, which then caused the high BP.
You can't prove that.
Hey, exactly. Mr. Owens' kidney would have been so scarred by the time they took it out, there'd be no way to tell which way around things happened. It's a risk you face in court.
I should tell you, Chris will make a very good witness. He's credible, presents well. He'll charm a jury in about 2 seconds.
If you trusted him with a jury, you wouldn't have called us here today.
How about 1.2?
We have tried chemotherapy, but they don't think there's any point. It wouldn't make a difference now.
Won't give Aiden any more time.
At the moment, he is suffering constantly. I mean, you know, Aiden has back pain, lower limb weakness, incontinence, all the result of the cancer spreading to the spine. Now, if Dr. Ladlow had diagnosed the original cancer in his leg 3 years ago, it could have been cured and it could have been treated before it had time to spread to his spine.
3 years ago, there were no signs Aiden had cancer.
Oh, no, none besides a massive big growth in his groin.
Which was tested and confirmed as benign.
Benign enough to give him cancer.
What are doctors supposed to do now? Just ignore the biopsy reports?
Excuse what? I mean, 6-year-old boys do not often walk around with growths the size of oranges in their bodies. What are you saying?
Mr. and Mrs. Shields were kept fully informed.
And they were given the option to have it removed.
Without telling them it was cancer.
He didn't know that it was
Are you
cancer.
trying to blame us now?
No, Mr. Shields.
We could have
no.
known about this. Is that it? We should have done something?
How about we all try?
They told us that Aiden might not be able to have kids if we put him through surgery. And then they kept saying his growth was nothing. It would just fix itself.
They never told us that he's going to die from this.
If they once said that, we would have done anything.
Well, we can hardly blame those parents for not removing a growth they were told was benign.
Of course not. As a parent, you take ultimate responsibility and charge yourself with ultimate blame.
Those two would be torturing themselves every day for leaving the growth there as long as they did.
Hap.
I don't think we can settle. It comes down to paying out $100,000 on what is currently a dubious claim.
Do you think we should wait for Richard to join Dr. Porter on the wreck? Because that's what he'll do if we walk back in there without an offer. And 100's the least it'll cost us to take it to court.
Would you have to actually concede negligence if you did settle?
Look, we may well make an offer. Let's do it next week on the steps of the court when they have all their evidence and they know the weaknesses in their case. Not here today.
Yeah, but by then, we might have Porter's slides and who knows what they may show.
My clients never wanted to face losing their son. It's only because Dr. Ladlow stole his chance of a cure and a treatment that they now have to. So what I'd like to know and what my clients would like to know is Dr. Ladlow going to compensate them for their loss? You know, can we end this now without anyone, my clients, Dr. Ladlow, ourselves, having to go through the stress of court?
Well, will you make an offer?
We're not prepared to concede negligence. However, in the interests of avoiding trial, we're offering $100,000.
$500,000 and we're starting to get somewhere.
That man takes away our son, and you say he's not negligent. What he did was right.
Dr. Ladlow provided Aiden with reasonable treatment at all times. He consulted a specialist and included yourselves at every stage.
Yeah, and we didn't know what to do. We just did what he told us. You can't blame us.
No, nobody's blaming you,
we
Mrs.
wanted
Shields.
this? Do you think we like getting up every morning, pretending to Aiden that everything's going to be okay, pretending that he's going to be here next year?
Aiden doesn't know that he's dying.
No, and he's not going to.
You want us to take away the last bit of fighting spirit he has left?
No, but not telling him that's only going to do more damage.
Oh, the damage has already been done.
No, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, you were doing the wrong thing by your son.
Well, what the hell do you know about it anyway?
Rope in your
Simon,
expert
let's just get
here.
back to the
Bill, I
offer.
don't know what he's doing here.
Listen to me, your son will find out. If you take him to court, he will
can you
find
take
out in
charge?
the most
Mr.
raw
Howard,
way.
would
And
you
is that how
please
you want your
refrain
son
from
to spend the
directly
last few months of his life cooped up in a courtroom? Is this money really worth it? Who are you acting for anyway? Because it's not this poor kid.
Why don't you just fuck off, mate? Stick to what you know.
Okay, let's leave this here. We're not resolving anything today.
So that's what you had in mind anyway, was it? Bit of a dust up with a lawyer.
Well, making Savage lose his cool means you'll be a strong witness in the stand, so that's a point for us already.
I think this is me anyway.
Okay, thanks. I'll let you know if we need more.
Let me know if you pin down the pathologist.
Yep.
Thanks, Simon. If we need a bit of biffo, we'll be in touch.
Right.
Attacking Savage was one thing, but attacking the clients.
Thought you'd like him.
Well, I must confess that I think I've only ever met one other doctor who's acted quite so unprofessionally at a mediation. Remember the Cusack case?
Oh. Mediation's still not for a few weeks, so there's still time to change your mind about going. But at the moment, the offer's 1.2
million. My God.
But we could definitely get more at court.
No court.
Just hear me out. We could get more at court because that offer doesn't cover the cost of a further transplant if you need one in the future.
Well, Medicare would cover it. They covered the last
No,
one.
Medicare can refuse if you've already received compensation for the procedure, which you will have.
Oh, they're making an offer and it sounds good enough to me, really.
But it's not, Chris. I mean, you're letting them get away too cheaply.
It's better than ending up with a bill.
There's no way we'd end up with a bill, is there, Caitlin?
No.
Oh, and you can guarantee me that.
If you want to talk absolutely technical, yes, we could lose the case, and yes, we could have court costs awarded against us, but the chance...
Look, I'm not about to turn around and say, oh, sorry, Jen, I've lost us our home. I mean, you did the will. You've seen what we got. We've got nothing to our names besides that place. It's just not worth it.
But you could be getting so much more.
It's up to you, Chris.
Look, just tell them the offer's fine. We'll end it here, okay?
Okay. I'll call MDA. I'll accept 1.2.
That's really strange. You can find a car for you that actually works, eh?
You would have got twice that from a jury.
He's either too scared or too proud.
Or maybe he just doesn't need anyone to punish. You know, maybe I should throw you a few more wills, see if you can crack the 1.5. Yep. Put him through.
David. No, it's fine, mate. No, they're just trying to intimidate you, and they're trying to push you into accepting a lower offer. Don't do it. No, the offer's not going to go anywhere. The trial's not for another, what, couple of weeks? Mm-hmm. Well, I can come around there now if you like. No, we'll talk about it then. All right. Okay, bye.
Your client trying to back out on you too?
Just nerves.
Where does this one go?
What is it?
Simon Lloyd's expert report.
And with the brief for Giles, I'll take it.
Abby, you know how this has all been quite stressful and we've had to stay back late 2 nights in a row and I've had to help you with all this extra stuff?
Mm-hmm. This is the preamble I usually get when my daughter wants a pair of $200 shoes.
I was going to say I've enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And if you need me to do more stuff around here, I'd really like to.
So what you're saying is you'd like a raise?
No.
You sure?
Abby, that's not what I meant.
You would like one, wouldn't you?
Well, if you'd really like to give it to me.
No.
That's not how you tar off. Hi. Can I help you?
I'm Dr. Lucinda Porter. I'm a pathologist. Dr. Davis left an urgent message. Is she in?
Yes. Ella.
They said there's no way that Aiden won't find out.
Clara, I got an agreement from MDA, no questions of any nature that would lead Aiden to
Yes,
suspect.
that's what they say now. And what happens when they get him up there? One wrong word and we've ruined the last little time we have with him.
Believe me, Richard, I wanted him to have to pay. I wanted his face in the paper. I wanted people spitting at him in the street, but even that's not worth my son facing death at 9 years old. We just want him to go to sleep one night and never know.
Now, the first biopsy when Aiden was 6, you say that you were sure at the time that the growth was benign.
On the balance of probabilities, yes. Reading a biopsy is not like reading a newspaper. The answer's not easily decipherable. There are varying shades of grey.
Are you saying that you weren't sure?
It was a very fine line. So I erred on the side of caution.
Well, we'll need those slides reviewed straight away.
I understand. A diagnosis of malignancy would have meant surgery to that boy's leg. What if I'd been wrong? I'd be sued for unnecessary surgery for mutilating that boy's body.
But you weren't wrong, were you?
When I saw that second biopsy, I just felt it. I knew. I went back over those original slides. I knew there was going to be a bad outcome, so I just hoped it'd go away.
She could have saved him. No one would have thought any less of Porter for saying that she wasn't sure. She could have sought opinions from other pathologists, and one of them would have picked it up.
Had a call from Savage. They've accepted 100,000. parents don't want to take it to trial.
This is wrong, Happy.
Don't know what good more money would do, though. Be cold comfort when they're burying their boy.
Medicine gets some of the smartest brains in the country, but we still can't teach them how to grow a conscience. You do not just hope something will go away. This was a life she was playing with. It was a little boy's life.
So we'll ask the court in the next few days to approve the settlement. Because it's an infant, the money is paid into a fund administered by the court, yeah? It's invested, but it's only released for things like trips to Disneyland, that sort of thing.
Well, we're thinking of doing that anyway, when Aiden's up to it.
Can I just have a minute? How's it going, Aiden? Good? Good? I've got to get going pretty soon, but I've got something for you. There it is.
Oh, wow, it's gone. Cool. They stole it from us. They stole the precious.
You're going to have to drag your mum and dad to see the new Lord of the Rings. Comes that soon, doesn't it?
Boxing Day. But I won't be here to see it.
Thank you.